Nothing screams comfort food than food that you can fill your belly up with that is super flavorful and very hearty. The kind that, you know, tastes the best when you're sitting with friends or by a fire. So today on Sonya's Sweet and Spicy Kitchen, I'm going to show you how I make my spiced butternut and acorn squash soup that you can make. It's super easy. We're going to do it over the stove. And this is a recipe that you can make a full batch now, eat half now, and maybe save the rest and freeze it later. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sonya's Sweet and Spicy Kitchen. My name is Sonya Paz and I'm your Spice Master here today. Hey, before we get started, go down below here and click on the subscribe button and also click the bell so that you can get notified of when I have new videos coming up. So, like I told you, we are making a super amazing comfort food soup here today that can be completely vegetarian or not. This is a super hearty recipe that I love. It's vegetarian if you like. You can use vegetable stock instead of chicken stock. I'm going to use chicken stock here today, but this is super awesome. And if you click right here, you're going to see how we went ahead and oven roasted all of the squash last week. And this is my second batch here that I've done, so it's super easy recipe. But we're going to combine a few ingredients. And what we're going to combine here today to make this amazing soup is we're going to have butter, because we're going to cook up our onions in that. We're going to add Sonya's Sweet and Spicy. We're going to add some crushed garlic, a little bit of nutmeg, and afterwards we're going to be adding a little bit of half and half and some pepitas, which are roasted pumpkin seeds. And I also roasted those with other nuts in my roasted toasty nut recipe that I have also here on my channel. So we're going to go ahead. I got my pot on the stove. Let's head over there and I'm going to show you how we're going to start combining all of this and get this thing going. All right, everyone, here we are. Got my stock pot. This is my favorite stock pot. This is something I've had for years. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start adding in our butter. And we're going to just get that melted. And we're going to start adding in the, turn the heat down a little bit, because we're going to cook up the onions, but I want to make sure I get all of my butter melted here first. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add my onions in here, and we are going to spill it in the pot just like that. No, seriously, don't do that. I knew that was going to happen, but that's okay. It's the magic of doing videos. Don't cry over spilt onions. I'm going to go ahead and add my Sonya's Sweet and Spicy. I'm going to add just about 2 tablespoons of that. I'm not going to make this super spicy. It's only going to just add a bit of a nice nutty flavor to this. Then I go ahead and just add in my garlic, and I'm just going to mix this all up together. I'm going to just stir this up here on low heat until my onions are translucent. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start adding our chicken stock, and then we'll add our pre-roasted butternut squash. And add in my nutmeg also. Now you cannot add nutmeg. Some people don't care for nutmeg, but I like it because it just really gives it just a, I don't know, I want to say a hallmark flavor, but it just gives it that really nostalgic, exotic flavor without being too over the top. You have to make sure that you just keep your heat on a medium heat, because you want your onions to be translucent and to cook, but you don't want this to burn. So I can smell all this beautiful flavors and everything here. Let that simmer here. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my acorn and butternut squash. We're just going to go ahead and dump this all in there. I don't want to dump the pot in there like I dumped the onions in there, so I'm going to just spoon this in here really carefully. Start mixing this around. Now, my squash is already cooked, and like I mentioned, we roasted it last week, or we roasted, one batch the other day. This is my second batch this week. And this is, most of the hard work's been done because we did pre-roast it, so that's all good. Now, all the hard work with roasting and cooking the squash has been already done. I don't want to do this and boil it up like this in with everything because it's going to take too long, and I think that boiling out the flavors is not really the way I like to do it. I like to pre-roast it in the oven like what we have done already. And so I'm going to go ahead and add in about 3 cups of my chicken stock. You can add vegetable stock if you like. And I'm not measuring this because I never measure it, but it's about 3 cups, maybe 2.5 cups. I'm going to do this just so that it's not completely drenched in here. We're going to just get this so it's boiling. So I am going to turn this up just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper, just a little bit over this. A little pinch of salt, nothing too drastic, just a slight little, maybe a ½ teaspoon or so. Just a tiny bit. And I'm also using low sodium. I'm using low sodium chicken broth. You can use, like I said, vegetable broth. You can use free-range chicken broth. You can use whatever. If you have homemade vegetable stock or any kind of chicken stock that you've made at home, then that's fine. But I like to use stocks because it just gives it additional flavor. All right. This is smelling so wonderful. We're going to let this come to a boil, and we're going to add in our cream, and then we're going to just blend this with a hand immersion blender. This has come to a nice boil, and it's just gotten everything even ultra cooked and more soft. I'm going to turn my heat off right now, and I'm going to add in about 3/4 cup of half and half. You can add more, you can add less. Our family likes to have this really creamy, so I'm just going to give this just a nice stir. And then I'm going to take my, I have this beautiful Cuisinart immersion blender that I like to use. It's a hand blender. It just got a couple speeds. This is Cuisinart. I can go ahead and put a link for this down below as well. But when you use this, you have to get this right down into the pot because it's going to pull everything up under. Otherwise, you don't want to lift it up or you're going to have a messy area to clean. So I'm going to just pulse and lift. And I'm going to just do this a little bit all the way around. We're going to go ahead and stir this up, just make sure everything is nicely blended. There's a few little chunks in there, which is okay. We've managed to really blend in all the onions and the garlic, the Sonya sweet and spicy. We've got a few little chunks in there, which is it's all good. You can completely make this even more smooth if you want. All right, and we're going to garnish this with the little pepitas, the little roasted pumpkin seeds, and we will be back. All righty. So I have my big pot of soup here, and this smells so amazing. Oh, and I got my son Ryan. He knows that I love Tim Burton, so he got me a Nightmare Before Christmas pot holder, and also Beetlejuice. This is the sandworm. So anyway, love these. These are my newest ones. My other ones were pretty beat up and kind of really super stained. Anyway. So we've got our beautiful soup here. This smells so amazing. We're going to go ahead and give this a little try. I'm going to dish this right out onto my plate. Oh, this is so awesome. Now we like it thicker. We like hearty soups here. Like I mentioned, you don't have to add the cream if you don't want to, but I like to add the cream just because it gives it the super creaminess. I'm going to push this out of the way. I've got my Sonya sweet and spicy roasted pepitas, which are super great, but I'm going to also add a little bit of sour cream, just a little bit right at the top, and I'm going to mix that in just because it makes it even more festive. Kind of give that a little bit more here. You can put a dollop on top and just kind of mix that right on in there. And I'm going to take my pepitas and just put in this is going to just add just the nice little nutty flavor to this. It's going to be really amazing and festive. People like garnishes on soup. You know, when you can dress it up and make it look even more prettier, then that's always a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. right there. So as you can see, look at that, beautiful soup. You can see the steam coming right off of that. And I'm going to, it's hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. And we only added about 2 tablespoons of Sonya Sweet and Spicy chopped up, super, super fine. Cook that in with the onions and the garlic. And you can add a little bit on there. You don't have to add as much. Or if you want it spicier, give your butternut and acorn squash some attitude, then by all means, go ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. It's really hot. Oh my God. I've been waiting for this. This is so good. And we're not talking spicy, folks. This is just, it gives it a little tiny kick, but it's not bad. It's super yummy. I always like to add a little bit. Half the time people don't even notice that I've added just a little bit in there, just a little bit of the juice or just some of the jalapenos, because they're sweet. And if you have had my jalapenos, you know that they're sweet and spicy. They're not so hot. It's not like a raw jalapeno where that would really make this super spicy. My jalapenos are sweet and spicy, gives you a little bit of attitude, but it's all good. This is so good. Okay, I'm gonna keep eating this. And I'm probably gonna add a little bit more of the sour cream on top, because I like sour cream on my chili, I like sour cream in my enchiladas, and I like sour cream on my soup. Perfect. So yummy. I'm gonna put my mitts on here while I move my pot out of the way. But this is super hearty. You can take this, like I'd mentioned, you can have it be where it's, if you're not gonna eat the whole thing, it freezes well. I don't think we're gonna end up having a lot of leftovers on this. So it is something that you can make ahead of time, freeze it, perfect, something that you can thaw out in a couple of weeks or in a month or whatever, and enjoy your holidays and your winter comfort food in style. So that is pretty much it, everyone. I want to make sure that you come back for 2020, because we're going to have new vision, we're going to have new recipes, and we're going to have a lot of really great fun. Now, don't forget, you can shop online for Sonya Sweet and Spicy Sweet Candy Pickle Jalapeno Peppers at sonyasweetspicy.com. We're also on Facebook. Would love for you to interact with us there at facebook.com/Sonya Sweet Spicy, and of course on Instagram, instagram.com/Sonya Sweet Spicy. Well, as you know, here in Sonya Sweet and Spicy Kitchen, we are chopping and slicing, dicing and cooking, roasting and toasting. And we are saying that on full volume here today. I hope everyone has a great new year. I really appreciate all of the subscribers that I have right now. Hoping to get to 100 here in the next couple of weeks, so do tell a friend and enjoy. So with that said, peace out, y'all. We're gonna enjoy the rest of this soup. Take care. Happy food dance. Happy food dance. Take care, y'all. Bye.